is Catherine from Jayne Catherine on Books, and I'm here with Book of the Day. So sorry I didn't manage to do one yesterday. The last 2 days it's been a bit of a nightmare trying to find food, I have to say. I've been out foraging, or not been out foraging because I'm not allowed to leave at all. So yeah, I'm sure most of you can relate to that at the moment, and you take things for granted. I think in the Western world we take things for granted, and we don't realise how lucky we are generally for being able to get food as easily as we do. And I've never been so excited to be able to locate some fruit and veg and some meat, I tell you. So ever so sorry I didn't manage it yesterday. By the time I got round to being able to film it, it'd been David too late into the night to be doing the uploading, etc. So sorry for that. But today's book, The Bees by Laline Paull. Now, for those of you not familiar with my channel, quite recently I do a series called Duos, and I pick 2 books that have got a similar theme or similar title, link, that sort of thing. So recently done one of my duos featuring this book, so there's a full review there and my thoughts on it. Fantastic book, fantastic. It's not a quick paced book, it's quite slow in places, and at times you think, oh crikey, it's, you know, a little bit repetitive in places. However, I think it's quite apt to what's going on at the moment. This is about Flora. She's called Flora 717, and she is part of a beehive. She's one of the worker bees, and this book's about her life, really, her life within the beehive, and it's quite fascinating. I find bees fascinating creatures, but it's quite fascinating how the beehive runs. It's run like a very tight mechanical machine to be able to produce the honey, and the bees are born into different echelons of society, really. So if you're a worker bee, or you might be a nursery bee that works in the nursery and look after the the hatched, don't know what baby bees are called. The hatched baby bees from the Queen, anyway. If there is a title, I'm sorry.
Babies.
Babies, says David. Oh, crack. He's on form today. Yes, so they're born, and it's very, very difficult for them to be able to work outside of their family job, really. It's very, very interesting, and it also makes you look at bees with a totally new eye. And I think that it's very, very important that we look after the bees. They are really, and I'm sure you might have heard this in the media, they're very important to the existence of man, really. A very important part of the ecosystem, and if all the bees were to disappear, then the ecosystem would fail, and we'd be in a right old mess. And something that's really useful that I learnt from here is, and I've done it since and it works, if you think bees are getting very laboured around you, and you think, oh, perhaps they're dying, put some warm water with some melted sugar, make up like a sucrose on a teaspoon, and put it out for them, and it does restore them. I've actually seen it since I read this book, started doing it last summer, and it does restore them to be able to carry on their duties. So I think we all need to do our bit to look after the bees. And apart from that, it's a very interesting book. It is fictionalised, but as I say, it's not fast-paced. It's not for those that want and gripping on the seat of your pants sort of book, but nevertheless a very important read, and I enjoyed it very much. So there we go, guys. Hope you're all keeping well. David and I, yeah, we're keeping well. And I feel much better now. I've managed to locate a bit of food. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.